think you want a pet tortoise, but how much do they really cost? It's a question that I had when I was thinking about getting Olive. So I'm going to run through, just quick and simple, everything you need for a simple setup and how much it cost us. And then you can make a decision about whether or not it's something that you could afford. Okay, so here is Olive's setup. You can see it's a simple tortoise table with a lid for a sleeping area. And I'll just run through everything we've got. So obviously we've got the tortoise table, and I'll pop all the prices on the screen. You then need the substrate. Substrate is just a fancy word for the soil or the environment that she's going to live on. Our kind of tortoise needs topsoil mixed with sand, 50-50. So I bought a bag of that pre-made, but you can buy them individually, make it up yourself. And then the big thing you need is a light and heat source. Sorry, that's flashing a little bit, isn't it? So we've got this here, this is ceramic. So this reflects all the heat and the light down onto the tortoise table. And then we've got the bulb itself, and that's an Arcadia 80-watt bulb. We've then got a thermometer. It has a readout here, which checks for moisture. And it has a reader here, which checks for temperature. We've then got a feeding bowl, and that's her water bowl. It's a bit dirty, I actually need to wash it. And we've then got, there's the lovely Olive. We've then got a piece of slate. We actually got this for free as an off-cut at a garden centre. We've then got cuttlefish that we've broken in half. And then we've got a hide here. A hide's actually really important because if you want them to come out and play in the daytime, they need somewhere to feel safe and secure. If you can see inside that hide, we've got something called sphagnum moss, and this is used to retain moisture. So you just wet it down and it holds moisture to keep the humidity up. And then of course we've got two artificial plants. Let's get a little bit of Olive, the star of the show. Say hello, Olive. No? No, you're not saying hello? Camera shy. We've then got some stones. They were from kind of the garden pots. We just transplanted them in here. We've then also got, so if you can see, inside the sleeping area, we've got a Haberstadt heat mat. So this just maintains the evening temperatures. And along with the heat mat, we've also got, get held on with sellotape. It's not a bit of a botch job, but it does the job. This is again another thermostat, and this connects up to a larger piece where you can set the temperature. So I've got the evening temperature set to 20 degrees. So if the room drops to below 20 degrees, the heat mat turns on and keeps that sleeping area warm at night. You all right there, Olive? Enjoying your lettuce? Not really. So a couple of the other essentials that we got were this Nutribol, which is a kind of tortoise vitamin and mineral supplement, and we got calcium powder that you're supposed to sprinkle on their food alternate days, so like one day vitamin, one day calcium. The other thing that's really essential is this. It's a reptile disinfectant, so it's safe to use within her enclosure, so you can spray something down and put it back in there and it won't do her any harm. And then the final purchase I made was a fish tank temperature monitor. So when I make up her bath, I make sure that the temperature is between 32 and 34 degrees. This was just me being a bit extra and just extra cautious. I do use it though every time I bath her. And then we've got a water spray. So every morning we just spray down her substrate just to keep it moist, because they do actually need to be in a slightly moist environment. If they live in somewhere that's really dry, they seek out areas of moisture. So you don't want them in a totally dry enclosure. So we mist it down every morning. And so I'm going to put up a list of all the essentials that we bought. We actually bought a starter kit that cost us £244, and that included the tortoise table and everything that I've just shown you, except for the heat mat and the internal bed area thermostat. They were extra because our house gets quite cold at night, so we did need that. So altogether that came to $314, and then we bought the fish tank thermometer, and that was £8 from Amazon. So 314 plus 8, 320. So yeah, you're probably looking at about 350. And then of course Olive herself, she was another 95 on top of that. So I would say if you've got like a spare 400 that you could part with to get a tortoise, you'd be good. You'd be good. As I said, I got it all in a starter kit, and now I can link down below where I bought that because I think it was really good value. Could you do it cheaper if you source the pieces individually? Probably. Do you need a dedicated, specially built tortoise table? Probably not. I've seen people using turned up bookcases or planters like from garden centres. So you're looking at about £450 as the initial investment or outlay. I'm going to make another video about the kind of the running costs, monthly costs of tortoise keeping. So if you'd be interested in seeing that, do give me a subscribe, because I'm going to put out more content about tortoise mothering. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope it's given you what you kind of came for, which is an idea about how much it really costs to get a tortoise.